because I firmly believe that this could be the start of great things in our bilingual continent, Africa. Africa is not a country, it is a continent of 54 countries. The narrative of Africa as a country continues because of the untapped economic capacities of many African countries. This is because of the inability of these countries to harness their diverse and exceptional assets, thus leading to the determination of our best and brightest youth to japa to countries where the development architecture and social constructs provide a conducive environment for them to achieve their potential and thrive. My country, Nigeria, is the host of this summit. My country, Nigeria, the host of this summit, has over 200 million people with a median age of 18. It is the largest economy in Africa, but it is grossly underperforming, despite the overwhelming fact that it is endowed with human capital resource of over 70% youth, some of whom include you, the summit attendees that are multi-talented and intelligent. Also, we have abundant economic resources which largely remain untapped because of decades of preference for a mono-resource economy, petroleum. However, as we are all aware, the youth in the country, or rather the continent, are changing our over-reliance on petroleum for technology, which, like I said in my opening address, has the transformative power to change the way we learn, work, and live. Technology is gradually shifting soft power to young people. The question is, where do you as an individual see yourself in all of this? It is great to have intellectually stimulating conversations. However, if this summit stops at the conversation level, although it is a great place to start, then the summit, in my opinion, has failed to achieve its central objective. What is the main thrust? Sorry, I think that spelling is wrong, it's supposed to be TH. What is the main thrust of this summit? It is, I resolutely believe, the topic of my address this afternoon, leading transformational social change through volunteering. Today, I want to quote President Barack Obama extensively. President Obama was asked for his best career advice for young people, and this is what he said. They should learn to get stuff done. He went on to explain what he meant by that saying. He went on to explain what he meant by saying, what I see are people who are very good at explaining themselves or showing things that are not working. But that's what leaders are looking for, are people who would identify fixes for things that are not working in order to fix them. Obama became president by taking his own advice. He became a senator by being a community organizer. He became a president by showing capacity as a senator. The rest, like they say, is history. Identifying and fixing things that are not working, I believe, is the foundation for transformational social change. It is a project-based approach that is aimed at contributing to a social cause rather than carrying out isolated activities. Therefore, the intention is to impact communities in a positive, sustainable, and lasting way. This is not the activity-based approach that in my years in the social sector, I see a lot of youth-based organizations focus on with the objective of showing off on social media and feeling good. The activity-based approach includes things like doing a one-day food drive to an orphanage, which I believe is the most popular one. While conversely, a project-based approach is running a soup kitchen or providing meals for children in school and tracking the impact of the intervention. When we engage in transformative volunteering, all parties involved win. The communities where the projects take place change, and as volunteers, we are transformed by the causes that we get involved in and become social change agents. Transformative volunteering is fundamental for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which was why during my term as the founding curator of the Port-Harcourt Hub, we focused on creating awareness about the SDGs in secondary schools in Port-Harcourt with the slogan, Know the SDGs. There are various ways that you can get involved in transformative volunteering. Social causes. Social causes are developed with the aim of supporting communities facing inequalities and vulnerabilities, such as persons with disabilities, orphans, out-of-school children, and many more. The aim of the intervention is to create effective and sustainable solutions to solve the problems identified. So it's not just about, having a one-day intervention, like I earlier said. It's about creating change that is lasting. You start and you look at what the outcomes will be, what the output will be, and what the overall impact will be. You look at root causes, what is causing this problem, and then at the end of the day, you create a theory of change that will change the entire problem completely, or at least reduce it to a manageable extent. Environmental causes are actions to protect the environment and mitigate climate change, pollution, and biodiversity protection. Educational causes, which I'm mostly passionate about because I believe that education is at the foundation of development, are aimed at promoting education and training actions for young people and adults in terms of literacy and the development of professional skills. And I also believe that, getting involved in educational courses will reduce the Japa syndrome among our young people, especially when they're involved in educational or professional developments in the tech sector. Health services, covering actions to, for example, provide access to palliative care or awareness campaigns on public health issues. Information technologies, which is one of my favorites. Actions to promote digital literacy and to develop technology skills. Africa will only rise if you and I are willing to rise, and we can do this by shaping the change that we want to see. What I'm going to use shaping as an acronym right now. S, seize the moment to serve and create the impact you want to see. Every single day, we have tremendous opportunities given to us to serve and to create the change that we ourselves want to see. We cannot wait for somebody else to do it. We have to do it ourselves. Unless your potential for transformative volunteering. I believe that every single individual has one thing in common with every other person on earth, and that's the ability to serve. We can all serve. We have fantastic potential to serve wherever we are, at any points we are, and it doesn't matter what kind of qualification you are, you can be a servant. Ask for Africa by applying the things that you have discussed. Create an agenda. I happen to belong to regional platforms where we have created an agenda and slowly but quietly are changing things in Africa. This is the start of probably a long and sometimes tiring and thankless journey of something that is bigger than all of us, but absolutely necessary for you to pass on a legacy that you can be proud of to your children. Pursue partnerships that enable you to change policies. The truth of the matter is, this Herculean task cannot be done by one person or by a group of people alone. There must be partnerships across Africa that will create an enabling environment for young people to change policies, inspire and influence conversation to change policies around the challenges that you want to fix. I'm very well aware that Ebenezer Wikina, the founder of Policy Shapers, is currently has a petition going on change.com, and I suggest that we all support him. I have signed the petition already. Never give up on Africa or your efforts. A lot of us are very quick at giving up. Most people have given up on Africa, and that's why, like I said earlier on, young people are, permit me to use the phrase, japaring to better climes. But the truth is, Africa has the potential to rise up and even overtake a lot of these continents that we're running to. Because most of these continents that we're running to are aging out. We have the young people, we have the power, we have the potentials to swing the pendulum in our favor. And that pendulum can only be swung by young people like yourselves. Give generously your time and your resources if you truly want to make a difference. I'm not talking about the Martyr syndrome of giving, but a very intentional way of giving that makes a difference. I end with another quote from President Obama, from where I believe the theme for this program, Africa Rising, where the ones we're waiting for, was taken from. So sorry, another mistake I'm just seeing. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones who have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. I will repeat that again. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We're the ones we're waiting for. We're the change that we seek. Finally, I end with another question. Could you be the one with the solution that Africa is waiting for to rise? Are you willing to shift the pendulum of change so that before the clock strikes 12 midnight, just like Cinderella, in all her beauty and splendor, Africa will rise? And indeed, I believe that Africa will rise if all of us are willing to partner together to rise with Africa. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a blessed weekend. Shaper love for Africa and all of you. Disable Gogo, volunteer, director, and chief servant of CARE Foundation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Peter Gogo. Your speech really has inspired me, and I think every other person on the floor. I really connected with your opening words, not to your closing words, where you said, we are the ones we are waiting for. We are the ones who say, and asked a very important question. As young leaders, are we the ones with the solutions? Mars, thank you so much. We are really grateful for your time, your mentorship, leadership, ideas, everything that has brought us this far. And I believe that on this call today, everyone that is attending this meeting go home with strong words of encouragement, strong words of inspiration, and words that gives us that assurance that, yeah, we are not alone on this journey, and there are many others like ourselves that are building Africa that we will. That was a very inspiring remark by our founding curator, Mr. Peter Bogo. And at this point, yeah, we are so grateful to have had such a time with our founding curator. We are going to take before our founding curator leaves, I just wanted us to share a little bit about some key highlights from the Africa Digital Governance Summit 2023. It's been a long 4 months of planning this summit, and the team that worked on this has really put in a lot of work to be able to have this result. We over the weekend were able to gather some insights on what ADGS means for us and some results out of the summit. And so we will be taking as the next line of action now, we are going to be inviting Kelvin Uduma, who is the outgoing impact officer of Global Shapers Port-Harcourt Hub, to give us a rundown of some of the key highlights of the 2023 ADGS Summit. Over to you, Kelvin.
Okay, thank you, Chukwemeka. Thank you, ma'am, for the address. Over the period of our planning, we received 216 registrations for the summit from young innovators from over 10 African countries and 5+ countries outside African region. We hosted 5 panel sessions featuring a diverse set of industry leaders who shared insights on topics such as navigating cybersecurity frontiers, youth entrepreneurship and the future of work, addressing mental health, bridging the digital divide and leveraging technology for trade and economic integration. The cumulative attendance for each of the 5 ADGS 2023 panel sessions was 35 delegates. In total, Port-Harcourt Hub collaborated with 25+ hubs across 8+ African countries, for which ADGS 2023 featured representatives from 9 hubs and an external organization as moderators of the 5 panel sessions. For ADGS 2023, Port-Harcourt Hub engaged over 40+ industry leaders, speakers, panelists, and moderators from over 12 African countries in the pre-summit, main summit, and post-summit partnership forum. It took 4 months to plan and execute the ADGS 2023 project from February to June 2023. And we had 2 months of online promotions, which reached over 50,000 impressions cumulatively across the Instagram, the Twitter, LinkedIn page of Port-Harcourt Hub. It is difficult to ascertain the total reach of posts made by all ADGS 2023 stakeholders, team members, speakers, partners, partner hubs, and external organizations kept posting and reposting the ADGS updates. We shall be compiling a detailed digital governance report to provide strategic policy solutions from Africans' standpoint, which will be published by Global Shaper Port-Harcourt Hub in collaboration with Global Shapers Community Hub in Africa and beyond. Thank you.
Much, Kelvin, for the very detailed spotlight about some of the very impressive going through that process with the team. We had a very it was initiated by the 2022-2023 curatorship, endorsed by the executive team, and finally we set up the coordinating team that was able to get us through the process. We have done this together, and I'm happy that our funding creator today has given the keynote address partnership forum. We will be moving on to the next person now, who is going to the next presentation. So the next presentation, can I confirm that Andrew is still on it? Uma is here. Is Uma here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Uma. Uma, are you able to stream your presentation from your system?
I can share my screen.
Okay, please share your screen and begin the presentation. Thank you.
Are you guys able to view my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. Yes, we can see it. So I'm going to give an introduction of you, and then
sure.
we'll move on. So Uma, I don't know how your name is pronounced, but Uma Grika.
Yes.
Well, Uma is here with us. Uma is the project lead from Palo Alto Hub, and she reached out to us for her Edu Workable project, and we think it's really amazing to share it at this summit. And so therefore, we are going to give her the opportunity to tell us and tell our audience what she has for us. So please, Uma, give a proper introduction and then move on with your presentation.
Thank you, everyone. So I am the founder, and I currently run Edu Workable, which is a project of the Global Shapers Palo Alto Hub. So I will get started. So a brief introduction about me. I studied computer science from MIT. I have been a global shaper of the Palo Alto chapter since February 2022. My interests include improving accessibility for people with disabilities, and I was formerly the founder of Journey Flows, another project of the Palo Alto Global Shapers Hub, and now I run EduWorkable. So what is EduWorkable? So our vision centers around empowering people with disabilities to advance their education and become stronger candidates for employment. Our work is motivated by the fact that people with disabilities often have up to an 80% unemployment rate in certain countries. And so the goals of EduWorkable are to hold panels, also known as presentations, discussing how people with disabilities can maximize their employment potential and obtain higher education. We also mentor people with disabilities to become stronger candidates for employment and advise them on advancing their education. Post-presentation, we also volunteer to review resumes of people with disabilities, and we are hoping to engage global shapers in hubs across the world. So we run by a 4-step process. First, we have created a database of more than 500 disability organizations across 30 countries. We reach out to these disability support organizations and kind of express interest in saying, hey, we want to partner with you, and we would like to host these education-focused or employment-focused presentations. Then, for the organizations that reach back to us and say, hey, we're interested in these presentations, we host a 45-minute presentation, and the audience is people with disabilities. We do obtain some sort of written or verbal consent from all the participants that they're voluntarily attending this presentation. At each presentation, there are certain set of things that we cover. So for employment-focused presentation, we will highlight strategies on how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, how to attend a job interview, how to choose a company. We'll talk about work-life balance. Then for education-focused panels, we will focus on exams that people need in order to get into schools, the application process, admission interviews, and so forth. If we're working with a particular organization with a particular disability, we will also focus on how people with that disability, are there any job boards for them, or are there any job boards exclusive for people with disabilities? So we'll also include resources and links to that. At the end of each presentation, attendees have the opportunity to ask questions, and sometimes often also during the presentation. After each presentation, attendees have the opportunity to obtain one-on-one mentorship with a global shaper, availability permitting, to advise them on their educational goals or help them become stronger candidates for employment. Attendees can also send in their resume that will be voluntarily reviewed by a global shaper. All the services we offer are voluntary, no cost. So some big wins of EduWorkable currently. We have created a database of 500 plus disability support organizations across 30 countries. We have partnered with the following disability support organizations so far and hosted presentations attended by more than 40 people with disabilities. These organizations include the Kenya Union of the Blind, the Mexico Association for People with Cerebral Palsy, the Jamaica Society for the Blind. We have been featured as a project on the World Economic Forum Top Link, and we have created and published content for the EduWorkable project on the Global Shapers Palo Alto Hub page. So one of the things that you may be wondering is, why is it so important for me to be presenting EduWorkable to all of you? Well, the idea behind that is the success of EduWorkable, it's really a domino effect. And we are aiming to expand EduWorkable to new hubs each quarter. Global Shapers is a huge community. There are more than 10,000 global shapers, and I'm hoping to use that to incubate EduWorkable. So if you're interested in starting an EduWorkable chapter in your hub, please contact me. We can modify the quarterly deliverables based on your hub's needs, what makes sense for you in your region. So I would like to thank all of you for attending, and feel free to email me. I've stated my email over here. So feel free to email me if you're interested in starting EduWorkable in your chapter.
Thank you so much, Ma. This was a really brilliant presentation, and we're happy that you could share this with our team here in Nigeria and the other hubs that are attending this summit. I believe that they'll be reaching out to you, and this summit is also being streamed on our YouTube page, so a lot of persons also have access to information after now. So please, if possible, you could also share your details in this comment section. Probably your contact mail or your LinkedIn address for people to reach out to you and continue the conversation. While you were presenting, I noticed your presentation is basically focused on expanding opportunities. And it's also important to also mention here that our founding curator, Mrs. Bita Boboko, has extensive work within this industry, leading Keeping It Real Foundation as its volunteer executive director. The impact of our organization reach in the Nigerian space and also is really, really amazing. Probably you have to, you could also strike out basically out for opportunities with our funding curator, and then probably share some of these things, some ideas, each of your group. So guys, we are also here kicking off. We are going to be moving on section. And just to remind us, Africa Digital Governance Summit Partnership Forum. And right about now, we have taken the opening address of Afani, Mr. Bitebogo. We have also taken details, spotlight details of the Africa Digital Governance Summit that we had last weekend, 23rd to 24th of June. Right about now, we are also going to be taking the next presentation, which is from Andrew Banigo. Andrew Banigo, confirm you are on the
yeah, I'm on the call.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be handing over to you in a few minutes. Just hold on, let me set up while I set up the And while we are at it, please, you can go ahead to share the links with your community and get people involved. After these presentations, we will also have opportunities for networking, sharing stories before we move into the final plenary where we have discussion. Andrew, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. So,
yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to introduce Andrew right now. Andrew Banigo is the current outgoing head of sustainability and partnerships of the Global Shapers Port-Harcourt Hub. Very amazing leader. Also, he's a former curator of Global Shapers Port-Harcourt Hub. He led the hub from July 2020 to June 2021. Andrew is a very amazing leader, and currently, having met all requirements, he has been nominated to be the next incoming community champion for Nigeria for the 2023-2024 leadership, starting from tomorrow, 1st of July. And we are going to be giving Andrew the floor to speak about some amazing insights he has on partnerships, how to drive partnerships, especially in fulfilling the Africa We Want mandate, Agenda 2063, and also in advancing hub impact within Nigeria and across Africa. Andrew, please give us brief information about the Global Shapers community, the Nigerian community, Shapers, and also your presentation. Over to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to talk about a topic that is key in the Global Shapers community and that should be tapped into by every individual that seriously wants to make impact in this world. Yeah. So partnerships in an African context is highlighted in a lot of our philosophies, such as Ujamaa, Ubuntu, which talk about the extended family, which talk about togetherness, we talk about I am because we are. And there's also this popular saying that says if you want to go fast, you should go alone, but if you want to go far, you should go together with someone else, you know. And there are so many quotes, there are so many fables, there are so many stories that have been told to us and that have been embedded, you know, in us as children growing up within the African context, you know. So the onus on us is to take up the mantle of partnership and put our hands together, just like it's being shared in this presentation. We should reach out to each other rather than stay in our silos, because we do not make much impact in silos. So if we could go to the next slide, I'll just give a breakdown of the Global Shapers community, a highlight. Thank you.
Hey, confirm you can see the screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Yes, so the Global Shapers community, it's born out of the World Economic Forum. It has a bottom-up approach to development, a bottom-up approach to impact. It doesn't show impact as being in the hands of just a few, but impact is in the hands of the community. So it's a community-based approach to impact, which is built upon the 3 pillars of insight, interaction, and impact. So when you see these 3 words, insight, interaction, and impact, it shows you that it's a firm foundation upon which Global Shapers, which was founded in 2011, has grown to 505 hubs globally and has made a consistent impact across many cities across the world, and has also built the capacities of various individuals, various youths. Like when I joined Global Shapers, I did not have a lot of insight on so many things. I did not know so much, but the person that I am now and the person that I was then has been shaped by the key pillars of these communities. So presently in Nigeria, we have 17 hubs, and we are one of the largest growing regions in the area. So basically, like Global Shapers builds on insight, interaction, and impact. So to narrow the focus of this conversation, we'll focus on the pillar which is called interaction, which speaks to the point of partnership, which is the theme of this presentation. So please, if we could go to the next slide, I'll give you a bit more background on the interaction part. Yeah. So the interaction session is basically the first section 1.1 of the Global Shapers Charter. You know, it tells you about how the community is vitalized by interactions generally generated inside each hub, between hubs and on a global level. So in the Global Shapers community, between ourselves, you know, we pull our resources together, we pull our ideas, we pull our talent, and partner on a microcosm, you know, within the hub, intra-hub partnership. And in that way, we bring capacity in a way that, despite limited funds, having the beck and call of everybody's talent, you know, which is put together, brings us the impact that we need. So Global Shapers, as part of its founding pillars, interaction, which also translates into partnerships, is one of our strongest key points. And that is why we've grown to a vibrant and impactful community. So if we could go to the next slide, I could give out, share an instance in which this partnership was displayed in 2020. So like Chukwuemeka earlier said, I was a curator in the 2020/2021 year. And as we may all be aware of, it was one of the most challenging and unique times in human history because COVID-19 occurred. And for the first time, we're having lockdowns, we're having a lot of challenges as a hub. And as a community-based hub that thrives on interactions, in-person collaborations, it was a great challenge for us. And in this period also, we had the NSAS, you know, like in Nigeria, in the Nigerian context, when the youths of the country and every stakeholder in the country rose up against police brutality. And we talked about SARS, but it was a lot of issues that had boiled up together and were now being fought against in what we call a protest. You know, everyone joined their voices, and for the first time, millions and thousands got into the streets. So the twin issues of the COVID-19, the isolation, the lockdown, and the issues of the violence that was caused by repression, you know, unrestrained anger, lynchings, violence, and all that, had a huge mental toll on members of the global shipper's community and everyone at large, because this was unprecedented. So a lot of things happened. As a youth, as a stakeholder directly involved by the police brutality, a lot of people wanted to take a lot of radical, you know, do a lot more. But due to the connections we had built, you know, because one of the key takeaways of the lockdown was that we're able to build stronger interactions. So till now, all the creators that were in the tenure from 2020 and 2021, we still have a group that we called ourselves the Corona Creators, you know. So we're all strong together. We all binded together, you know. When anyone feels down, we had every Saturday meeting where we talked about our mental health and such. So based on these fruitful conversations, all the hubs in Nigeria, which is unprecedented, then we were 9 hubs. For the first time in, I guess, Global Shapers recent history in Nigeria, all the hubs came together to develop a project called NSAS Healing Together. So while we couldn't do much about the policy change in short notice, despite lending our voice and our platforms to let global shapers like hubs and countries across the world to propagate our message, within we decided to find ways to solve the mental health impact that this crisis, the twin crisis of COVID and the twin crisis of COVID and the lockdown had caused. And we partnered with the Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative to start a project, to implement a project called NSAS Healing Together. So this was targeted at 5,000 people. It was regional talks that were in digital that a lot of people talked about the mental health and its impact, you know, and the ways and the solutions, you know, that you could have as an individual through lifestyle changes, through seeking professional help, and through compartmentalizing your reaction to global issues, you know. And in that way, through these sessions, we're able to collaborate for once, you know, because a lot of hubs, we had Ozubulu hub that just came on board then. We had a lot of hubs that were at different stages of maturity. But when we came together, we were able to share, you know, they were able to cross-pollinate ideas, cross-pollinate resources and capacity. So in this way, we're able to, like hubs that had never had a partnership with an external partner, we're able to go through the fundamentals of partnership, you know, finding the fine points of partnership with money. We're able to have a broader impact because when Lagos Hub, when Abuja Hub, when different hubs bring their connections, their ideas, their graphics together, we're able to have broader impact rather than what we would have had if we had just localized our project and our impact. And in this way, we're able to build our local capacity using lessons learned. So when I think about partnership, this moment in the history of the global shepherds community in Nigeria is a good point to look back to, you know. So if you know Ghanaian philosophy, Sankofa, looking inwards. And when the Nigerian community wants to think of partnership, this is a good point to look inwards too. So in the next slide, I'll just talk briefly about the ADGS and how partnership has birthed this impressive program. So yeah, so there are a lot of partnerships, like the ADGS program did not just spring out of the efforts of just the Port-Harcourt hub, but it sprung out as although it was led by the Port-Harcourt Hub, but it was this vibrant and impactful because a lot of hubs, a lot of organizations came together. So so many hubs put their hands together, because listening through the sessions, you can hear a lot of perspectives and perspectives from around the world. It's not just a local perspective. You have to cross-pollinate ideas, new ideas from different people around the world, looking at them, your local challenges from a global perspective. So in the way they've solved and approach these perspectives, you can always extract new and innovative ideas to solve these challenges locally. So the ADGS, through its various hubs, its partnerships within Africa, within the region, within Nigeria, was able to get to this level of completion due to partnership. So this is another case study in addition to that of the power of partnerships in action. So the ADGS Summit highlights this partnership in action. So well done to all the hubs involved, and I hope we can all learn from this and replicate this in making impact in our various circles, in our various localities, and in carrying the impact of this project forward. Just like Mrs. Bitebo-Gogo has said, partnerships, are very, very key towards impact and long-lasting and serious impact. So we could just slide to the last slide. Hello? Yeah, so we could just go to the last slide. So this goes to the plan for the next year. So like was said in my introduction, I'm presently the community champion for Nigeria, for the Nigerian region. So in this role, I'll be managing all the hubs and all the shapers, doing reporting, doing like the world champion says, I'll be like a champion. I'll fly in with my cape, and that is like figuratively, but I will fly in and ensure that the hubs carry out global shapers best practices and adopt them locally to make a maximum impact, So basically what we are trying to look at. So in this picture, this was our meeting during the recently ended Global Shapers Summit, in which all the hubs and communities came together within Nigeria to talk about their challenges. So something that struck me was that every hub has similar challenges, but while these challenges are similar, there are different ways and different productive ways of solving these challenges. So one thing we needed was identify what we plan to do in this year is to identify these shared challenges and identify collaborative approaches towards solving these challenges. So we have the need for increased community identity / awareness, because through partnerships, through broader platforms and partnerships, if you're into SEO, backlinks, sharing your stories on broader platforms, we could all leverage our collective platform to leverage the identity of the Global Shapers community within the Nigerian region and globally. Then we'll also look at more collaboration within hubs. There are a lot of good examples, such as the ADGS, in which hubs can come together. Basically, the new hubs and the more established hubs can come together and have a lot of knowledge sharing, cross-pollination of ideas, and grow stronger. And increase community interaction, inter-hub capacity building, and leveraging the network and resources of the global community. And the key, the foundation of all these plans is partnership, because we cannot do it alone. We are global shapers. We're not global shapers organization, we're global shapers community. And the word community means together, So as a community together in Nigeria, we hope to make more impact by leveraging on the concept of partnership. So with this presentation, I believe we've gotten more insight into the importance of partnerships and how partnerships in action can create meaningful impact. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew Banigo. That was a very brilliant presentation. on the power of partnerships, and also you had to share real life case scenarios from your experience as curator, and also from the ongoing Africa Digital Governance Summit hosted by the Port-Harcourt Hub. So really, we have learned very deeply about the concept of partnerships and what to do moving forward. So this is a really captive session, and also lightning session as well. So right about now, we missed a particular section earlier, but I'm checking. We will still move forward. So thank you very much, Andrew, and also to everyone that has contributed to this particular partnership forum. Right now, we okay. I'll just play the ADGS video as an icebreaker while we take on the next session.
In a world of digital transformation, where technology is intertwined with governance, here comes an amazing event, the Africa Digital Governance Summit. Africa Digital Governance Summit is a program hosted by Global Shapers Hub in collaboration with Global Shapers Hubs in Nigeria and the Africa region.
Are you ready to embrace the future, shape policies, and revolutionize governance in the digital age? The Africa Digital Governance Summit is here to empower and unite leaders, change makers, and innovators from across the continent.
This groundbreaking summit is an unparalleled platform where minds converge, ideas are ignited, strategies are forged from bustling metropolis to rural communities. This event serves as a catalyst for progress throughout Africa.
The Africa Digital Governance Summit aims to accomplish three crucial roles. The first is to foster a deep understanding of digital governance and how technology intersects with the diverse needs and challenges faced by nations and communities.
This summit is a call to action, propelling participants to collaborate, share insights, and create actionable solutions that can shape the digital landscape of Africa. Together, we can pave the way for inclusive, transparent, and accountable government.
The importance of attending this summit cannot be overstated. It offers a unique opportunity to engage with high-level decision makers, industry experts, and thought
See you there.
Thank you very much. That was coming from the Global Shapers Port-Harcourt team, the ADGS team. Right about now, we will be taking the next person on the line of speakers. But if I go through that, so I will just give a brief recap. I noticed before when I did that initially, we had it was not streaming, so I will just go over little. So the Africa Digital Governance Summit is a Pan-African, a flagship continental program hosted by Global Shapers Port-Harcourt in collaboration with Global Shapers Hub in Nigeria and the Africa region. And last weekend, June 23rd and June 24th, we had the main summit, which featured the opening plenary and 5 amazing sessions. that bordered on navigating cybersecurity frontiers, youth entrepreneurship and the future of work, addressing the mental health crisis, bridging the digital divide in Africa, and leveraging technology for trade and economic integration. The sessions were really amazing. We have had to engage over 40 on this ADGS project. And basically, this ADGS project has taken 4 months of hard work, and I must recognize the hard work put into by the team behind this ADGS project. Led by Odishika Abigail Adu, and also amazing members on that particular team. And this year's ADGS program is an initiative, the 2022-2023 curatorship, and endorsed by all the executives. And then we are grateful that we are right here today to be wrapping up this partnership. And this also coincides with a very strategic day, because today happens to be the final day of the 2022-2023 curatorship. And we are going to be handing over to 2023-2024 curatorship, led by Tamunoto Yebriggs. So we'll be giving her an opportunity to share briefly about her concept of leadership and her visions for global change. Before I finally take on the post-summit report and also analyze it. Then we go to the. So Tamunoto Yebriggs, can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, welcome, Tonye. Over to you,
so,
Tonye.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for staying since the beginning of this meeting. It's an honor to take over the baton from our able curator. So I'll briefly talk about the Global Shapers community and my role as the curator. So the Global Shapers community is a global network of inspiring young people. So basically from people below the ages of 30 who come together, we work together to address local, regional, and global challenges. So basically, for us in Port-Harcourt Hub, our mandate will be to identify projects and create projects that address the needs of our community, Port-Harcourt City. Like I said earlier, a few days ago, yesterday, the community is so big. So you're coming in for the new shapers, you're coming into a community that spans across 430 cities in over 150 countries. And as at now, we have over 12,000 members. So the community is where you can gain a lot, and you can basically, it's a place where you can create, is inclusive, and we're united by a desire to bring about a change. And we're non-political, it's not for profit. So like I stated yesterday, where there are not going to be financial rewards, but best believe that as you're part of the Global Shapers community, you're going to benefit immensely. We're going to be engaging in projects from combating poverty, fighting climate change, and building inclusive communities. I'm hoping that in this tenure for the next 1 year, which begins from tomorrow, we're going to be doing projects that address the 6 impact areas. We're going to identify problems. We're going to form collaborative teams. We're going to be able to share information. And of course, I'm hoping that in the next 1 year, we'll be able to profess solutions to Port-Harcourt City and the River State government at large. So I'm welcoming everybody on board, existing shapers, new shapers, to work with me. I'm going to be available as much as I can. And I'll briefly mention the 6 impact areas. So if you also have projects in these areas, I would love to also work and build up on this project, because one of the things we're going to be doing is also build up on projects of past curators, from SDGs to eco bodies to tree planting, because to safer schools. These were projects that brought about unity, and I saw and there was a lot of shaper engagement, including the recent just concluded ADGS summit. The 6 impact areas are to build inclusive communities, reskill for the future, health and well-being, deliver basic needs or aids, protect the planet, and to strengthen civic engagement. So we intend to implement. Currently, the Global Shapers have implemented over 2,000 projects, and we're hopeful that in the next 1 year we'll be able to engage this current government and implement projects that would put Port-Harcourt Hub on the map again. Would also be on existing projects from past curators who have done absolutely well, including the outgoing curator. And lastly, my last words are, as you're coming in, there are going to be lots of, we're people from different, diverse communities, we didn't grow up at the same time. So they were going to have disagreements, but it doesn't mean that disagreement is we hating on each other. And we're hoping that we disagree to agree and then put Port-Harcourt Hub on the map again. So thank you very much, Curator.
Okay, thank you very much, Tonya, for the brilliant and insightful remark on the way forward. So it's really been amazing, and also knowing that what we have done in the past couple of months, driving collaborations, driving innovative projects and all of that, and also fostering trust and community spirit within the hub and also our community. It gives me great joy that knowing that the hub will be in good hands, and moving forward, we have more opportunities that we gravitate towards, because a lot has been unlocked through the power of collaboration. And definitely, personally, I wish you well, and I wish the coming team amazing. Okay? I will always be ready to support any way we can. Right about now, Summer Victory is not on this call. We missed this earlier. So we are going to move into, okay, so the post-summit report. Just briefly, we'll talk about that. Okay, just hold on. I wanted to stream my screen. I wasn't able to. Okay, so I'll just talk about it briefly. So the ADGS summit, when we started the summit, we stated that so the summit was going to be in 3 phases. One is the 2 days main summit, which was 23rd to 24th of June, 2023. And then afterwards, we'll have basically the 5 sessions, and then the post-summit session, which is this one we're having. And collecting the feedback from all these sessions together, we are going to be having to put forward strategic detailed report. And that will involve a contribution from the speakers, the panelists, notes taken during the meetings by team members, and everything coming together will be put into the strategic document. That will be a product of the Global Shapers Hub, in collaboration with Global Shapers Hub in Nigeria and the Global Shapers Hub in the Africa region. So guys, look forward to that amazing communication. So today, right about today, we are going to be handing over officially to the incoming team to be able to begin the process of building another team and inspiring change through action in Port-Harcourt and beyond, while the outgoing team continue to work behind the scenes for the incoming team and also strategically connect the dots, all that we have done in the last 4 months. So I think I mentioned earlier, there's an amazing team that has worked behind the scenes to have this result. And last year when we set out to have this project on, it was very impossible. But today it looks like something that we have achieved. And so I must congratulate everybody that has given really, really great inputs into this project. That is the governance of it, the first of its kind and the flagship project of championed by the 2022-2023 curatorship, and with amazing team members that have made this happen. So look forward to the report, guys. We are going to be having to go to the next session. So final vote of thanks. So we are going to be having basically connection. We are going to be opening up the space for people to communicate, to talk about review from the summit and extra words, however it's going to be. Right about now, if Abigail is available right now, Abby, please confirm you can give a final remark. Moving to the next one. Open house session. Abby, are you there? Okay. Well, I think thank you so much, Umar. I think she just a message in the group. So this meeting is currently streaming on our YouTube page. We have an ADGS website that was set up, ADGS.netlify.app. We also have posts going out on our different social media networks, media platforms, as you may have it. And also today we're having a partnership forum where we are wrapping things up on the ADGS project before we move to the final phase of the reports, which is going to be done behind the scenes. Specific contributions from elected team members. Well, we have come a long way, and I must say thank you to everyone. Right now, we are going to open up the forum for open conversations on the topic Africa Rising. We are the ones we are waiting for. So let's go. Let's go. If you want to say something, please unmute yourself. While we are speaking, Abigail just joined again. Confirm you can hear me. So the follow is open for people to comment, to contribute to the conversations. I'll just give a recap. Earlier we started with basically the introductions of the Africa Digital Governance Summit. And then we moved on to have the opening remarks, welcome remarks from our founding curator, who is the chairperson of the Africa Digital Governance Summit. And then I also introduced Umar Gerka, the project lead of Palo Alto Hub, who gave a presentation, workable, and also drop a comment at details in the comment section of the hub. Then we had Andrew Banigo, the incoming community champion, who was able to share insights on partnerships. And then finally, we had Tamnotoye Briggs, who gave us insights into what it means to shape in Port-Harcourt. Then we also had Kelvin Uduma, who gave the analysis or spotlights of key details from ADGS2023 summit. And so I want, if Abigail is available now, I will welcome her to speak. So I'm Chukwuemeka. I'm the outgoing curator of the Global Shaper Group. And together, working with amazing, brilliant, energetic curatorship team consisting of Mixoma Victory, who is the vice curator, Kelvin Uduma, who is the impact officer, executive team members who consist of Andrew Banigo, Uchegem Gaya, Pepu, Abigail Dishika, Ado, Tamnotoye Briggs, and a couple other persons to give impactful contributions of this time. And then also down to the ADGS coordination team consisting of Abigail Dishika as coordinator, and Wisdom Okubo, team member Samson Maxwell, Precious Promise Ozue, Cynthia Mama, and then Mary Kwebu, and a couple of other persons who have contributed to this project. It's really been an amazing ride with you all. And it's been really great to know that we can make Africa is rising, according to our founding curator. We are the ones we are waiting for. We are the ones we seek to make change happen. Are you the one with the solutions? I can bet we are the ones we are waiting for. So at this point, we are ready to go into the open forum. So please make comments. Did you attend the summit? Today's summit, how was it? Have you been inspired today by the session today? What exactly are we missing out before we wrap up this session? Thank you very much. Wisdom, do you want to say something? Something Maxwell, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the journey so far. I started out as a volunteer, but I've been privileged to, join the Shepherd community. I want to reflect my thoughts on the theme of this concluded summit, which is the transformative power of technology and charting the path for responsible innovation, and then the realization of the 2030 agenda. When we say Africa is rising, for me, it reflects a movement, a movement of purpose-driven individuals who are intentional about wanting to make a change. So for me, it is a call to action to each and every one of us here to embrace ownership of all our projects, of all the activities and everything that we set out to do in order to make or form or shape the Africa, we desire. When the founding curator came on earlier, she talked about shape as a verb. And the shape as a verb means that, it is left to each and every one of us to shape the Africa we desire in line with the 2030 agenda. It's a long way, it's a long shot, but we are the ones to make it happen. I also love the fact that, Andrew Banigo, he said something. He said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, of course, you need a team. So we all need each other to make this happen. So thank you all for the opportunity to speak and air my thoughts, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Wisdom. Is any other person going?
Save us all this Wahala. Communication saves us all this Wahala. Clear communication.
No, can we hear you? Okay. This is exactly 2:30. Any other person has something to say? The floor is open.
Okay, good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This session has been quite inspiring and has been a wonderful one to hear most people around the world, or shall I say, Nigeria here, talk about how young people, how people with great ideas, people with creativity, to see how we can actually go into the governance and create change through technology. I really appreciate all you guys for what you've done. I really appreciate you guys for giving us this idea, this sense that, okay, there is actually something we need to offer to Nigeria as a whole, and also to the world at large. So I really appreciate you guys. Despite I joined late, but I grabbed one or two things, just like the last session that I was talking about using our verb as an action word. And it's really inspired me to see how we can put all these things that we have to see how we can help young people also help ourselves to meet or to create innovations and creativity in governance through technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. It's been really a pleasure having you join the call. Thank you again, everyone. Okay, so how do we go about it? I mean, for the next 30 minutes, the room will be open for engagements, and otherwise we wrap it up. Can we have soft music? Okay, so guys, thank you very much. We will have to wrap up the session right now because we are streaming on our social media. Again, I thank you very much. Thank all of you for joining the session. This is hosted by Global Shapers Port-Harcourt Hub in collaboration with Global Shapers Hubs in Nigeria and across the African region. This is Africa Digital Governance Summit 2023, and right about now we're having a partnership forum and we are closing it out with an amazing applause to the pioneers and the basically and all of this. Looking forward to working with you guys. Anyone who's not a global shaper, please look out for global shapers hubs in your local regions to join. There are currently 17 global shapers hubs in Nigeria, so please go out. The closest to you is always available on our social media. You can do a Google search. Thank you. At this point, we are going to be wrapping up the meeting. This is 2:32 p.m. I'll be closing the recording right now. My name is Chukimeka Roko, and it's a pleasure being with you guys.